A foreign national convicted of human trafficking scored a major victory in the Court of Appeal today.
Fern Carey tells us tonight what caused the High Court to rule in her favor.
Jamaican national Shavani Sashage Hall, the first accused to be convicted of trafficking in persons in the Bahamas, is now a free woman. This after the Court of Appeal allowed Gay Hall's appeal and quashed her 6 convictions and sentences. The Jamaican national was serving a 13-year, 5-month prison sentence after a jury convicted her of 4 counts of trafficking in persons. Jurors also found the 25-year-old guilty of unlawfully withholding the passports of 2 Jamaican women she forced into prostitution after they arrived in the Bahamas. However, in the ruling handed down during the proceedings, the court accepted the arguments of Gay Hall's attorney, Murray DeSeal, who argued that her trial in the Supreme Court was a nullity and that the offenses with which she was charged are summary and not indictable, which means it did not require her to be tried before a judge and jury. DeSeal also argued that the Attorney General had no jurisdiction to file voluntary bill of indictment papers, and as a result, the judge could not try her on the indictment. The court also cautioned that when framing criminal charges and information, especially those involving statutory offenses, care must be taken to adhere to the rules set out in the Criminal Procedure Code with a view to ensuring that each charge or each count of the information provides the accused with full details of the offense. Outside court, Gay Hall appeared uncertain as to what the court's ruling meant. She asked DeSeal, who responded, "It means that you are free." Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
For many years, the Ambassadors Chorale International Church Organization have been stationed at various intersections throughout the city, collecting funds into blue and white triangular-shaped containers for Bahamians who are less fortunate.
Well, today officials discovered that land they thought they owned on Pine Barren Road off Prince Charles Drive in eastern New Providence was cleared down by a second title holder.
LaDon Davis has been following this story and has the latest details in this report.
It was shortly before 11 o'clock Thursday morning when large heavy-duty bulldozers began demolishing farms, homes, and even killing innocent pets on land that allegedly belonged to members of the Ambassadors Chorale International Association. Those homes and buildings were used to accommodate some 40-plus persons and children who are homeless and unemployed. President of the ACIA, Michael Bullard, says the organization purchased the property more than 8 years ago, and after thoroughly searching the land, it was discovered that the land title was clean and owned by the Bahamas government. He says, however, he is still unsure how a second title holder can now claim that same land.
We've been asked to vacate without notice. We've been given notice prior from the Fountains family, but nothing from the courts. Now they're coming and tearing down and said I had enough and ample time to move. I spoke with Sir Cyril Fountain, who is their father, who told us that if he could help us, he would. He said he was going to find a way to prove that the person who we purchased from was bogus. They haven't locked him up yet. They haven't done anything to him, so apparently he's clear.
Our attempt to speak with a representative from the Fountain family proved fruitless as they offered no comment. Bullard says the group wanted to complete final payments for the property to acquire the deeds for the land, but those legal documents, he says, are no longer accessible to them.
We keep our records and documentation. They just destroyed the building that all the documentation was in, and that was their intent, to prove that we are not viable and valid in this country, and they're not honest. I don't understand what kind of judicial system we have here, but whatever it's going to take, I'm going to take it to the highest of the courts.
An emotional Mario McPhee says the association spent thousands of dollars to not only beautify the land, but educate the children of residents there. He says for an individual to destroy what they use public funds on is outright heartless.
I can't deal with this. I really can't deal with this. The amount of people we have helped, not boasting, it's pathetic. This is really pathetic. I don't know what's going on in this country no more. It seems like God doesn't even exist. And it isn't that we stole this land. We went through the proper procedures. We did everything by the law.
McPhee says even though he is unsure of an alternative solution, he is calling on the relevant authorities to assist those in need. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
Thanks so much, LaDawn. A special luncheon to educate parliamentarians on the impact of the RISE Cash Transfer Program, facilitated by the Ministry of Social Services and Community Development, took place at the British Colonial Hilton on Wednesday. It's a pilot program designed to provide food and other assistance to Bahamians living below the poverty line. A few parliamentarians gave their personal views on the program.
Allows them to have a bank account, a credit card type device which they can go to an ATM and access funding, or they can take it to a food store and they can purchase their goods. They can choose whichever food store they want to go to purchase their food. They can basically pace themselves over the course of the month in terms of the benefit.
He is very much a partner in it, and hopefully what we'd like to do ultimately is to try and eradicate poverty. That's what this is all about. And one of the major thrusts which I love about the program is not so much the ease of doing business, which is obviously a plus, but the way in which the monies will be given to the families.
Minister of Social Services and Community Development, the Honorable Melanie Griffin, explained how the program works.
It has been determined that childhood obesity is a problem. And so, whereby in a lot of other countries, it's attendance at school, or but in the Bahamas, it's really a childhood obesity. So we want to address that, because from obesity comes other non-communicable diseases, makes you open to non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, etc. So we want to lengthen the life of the family healthier, and we want to raise the educational level of the family, because that's the way they're going to be able to rise out of poverty. So there's an education condition. There's a base amount that's put into the family every month. Then there's a condition, an amount for every child